Welcome to Hodge, Podge, Australia. Today we are making Mickey Mouse cookies. I have a Mickey Mouse cutter. I have some leftover cookie dough that's been sitting in the fridge, so it needed to be used, and I have a rolling pin. What we're going to do is we're going to roll out the cookie dough and we're going to cut out some Mickey Mouse shapes. So let's get that started. The cookies that I am baking are just sugar cookies. I will put a link to the recipe below. I got off the YouTube channel Haniela's, who does wonderful cookies. And we're just going to bake them in the oven, not for long. As I said, I'm using up some cookie dough and I've done some other cookies for the children to decorate. So I have 5 cookies I'm going to turn into Mickey Mouse today. I have made some royal icing. It looks like the mouth of a bear on there now that I'm looking at it. But anyway, moving on. Let's scoop some into another bowl because we need to tint it black for Mickey Mouse. And because we're going to be dipping the Mickeys into the icing, we're going to need to water it down. So we get a spray bottle is a great way to add water. Another tip that I have picked up from Haniela, rather than trying to add tiny little droplets out of a dropper or trying only to turn the tap on just that slight little bit to add a bit of water into your royal icing. So it's just going to water it down, and you can just keep adding water until you're happy with the consistency of your dippable royal icing. Using black colour, we're going to keep adding colour a little bit at a time until we're happy with the colour that we have as well. Now that we're happy with the colour of our black icing, it's time to start the dipping. So what I'm actually going to do is literally dip the biscuit, the side that I want to be iced, into the black icing, and then we're just going to let the excess run off. Now, I've found after I've started doing this that the bowl I've used isn't perfect for these because the biscuits are a bit big. So about halfway through, I'm going to run out of room to dip because the icing isn't going to be coming up high enough in the bowl. So it's better to use a nice shallow dish if you need to do this or want to do it this way. And doing the dipping actually is really good because you get a nice smooth finish on your biscuits. When you're using a knife to spread it on, you'll get a few little air bubbles and things that you need to either pop out or will end up being there when they set. So dipping it in, and as you can see, being black icing, it gets a bit messy, so just wiping your hand after each one with the dipping so you don't get black icing where you don't want it. And continuing on with that, I will also use my knife to smooth out any edges that I need, and as you will see in the speeded up version coming up shortly, I will end up using the knife to spread it out on the last couple of cookies because of my pie dish, as I mentioned earlier. Once you're happy with the coverage of your biscuits, just put them aside. You're going to want them to dry for several hours, if not overnight, so that the black is lovely and touch dry. You actually want it more than touch dry, you want it hard before you do this next part. And the next part requires tinting more of your white royal icing red, popping it in a Ziploc bag and just snipping off the edge. You don't need a fancy piping bag or anything like that for this, just a Ziploc bag that you've got in the cupboard is all that you need. Snip the edge off with the scissors, and then we're going to pipe on a semicircle on the bottom of Mickey's base because we're turning that into his trousers. Once we've done those, we're going to let the red dry now before we add on our white buttons. So here they are, all nice and dry, as you can see, and unfortunately, with the camera angle and my big fat hands, you can't actually see me pipe the white on, but trust me, it's just doing a circle, as you can see. It's that one you don't really need to see, you can figure that one out. So just popping on a button onto Mickey's pants, and there we have some really cute, colourful, enticing Mickey Mouse cookies. They're delicious. They are time consuming because you have to do little sections at a time and walk away and come back. So you need to make sure you plan in advance when you're doing these. But they're super cute, so give them a try. The kids love them. Thanks so much for watching another Hodge Podge Australia video. Don't forget to subscribe.